Can we give you another minute, then we'll start doing these, guys. If you don't finish, that's all right. Y2 minus Y1. Make sure your Y's are on top, X's are on the bottom. Jen, are you doing these?
I already did them.
Ooh.
Okay, no decimals. Okay, keep that as real.
All right, guys, let's take a look at these four. If you're not done, just stop where you're at. Pay attention. Taryn, you want to set up the first one? Tell me what you wrote. Okay, that looks good. Nice job. Whoops. And what did you get? Let's see, 2. And that's a good slope. That was real easy, right? That was real easy. Now, just so you guys know and see this, could I have set it up this way on the top? As long as I do what on the bottom? 3 minus 6. Okay, and you can see I'm going to get the same answer, just negative form. What's a negative over a negative, guys? Positive, be the same, right? That'd be the same. All right. Maya, help me with 2. What'd you put on the top, Maya? What are your Y's?
I didn't get to this one.
All right, let's talk to me.
Would be
What are your Y's?
8 and 10.
Okay, we're on number 2.
7 and 10.
Okay, so how do you want to do it? You want to go 10 minus 7 or 7 minus 10?
10 minus 7.
Okay, so you went this way, and that's fine. So you have to go this way with your X's. Okay, so what'd you put?
So negative 10 minus 4.
You have to do what? It's minus. It's not minus 4. It's minus what?
Negative 4?
It has to be written that way. Has to be written that way. What's 10 minus 7?
Oh, me?
Yeah, this is your problem.
3.
Okay, now what happens down here? Plus plus. What's negative 10 plus 4? It's not negative minus 4. That'd be negative. I think it's negative 10. It rises 4 degrees.
Negative 6.
Very good. Now, what's that reduced to? Always want to reduce it. What's 3/6 reduced to? What do you think, Mace?
1/2.
Yeah, but 1's negative, right? So what do we got to have? It's got to be negative 1/2. Guys, make sure you don't have 0.5. Okay, it's negative 1/2. Okay. Jeff, help me out with 3.
All right, so
What do you think?
it would be,
Bless you, bless you.
is it negative 8 minus 12?
Yes, sir. I like that start. Okay.
And then 4 minus 4?
What's negative 8 minus 12?
Negative 20?
And what's 4 minus 4?
0?
What's my slope?
Is it 20? Or is it 0? I have no idea, I forget.
Well, take your calculator and go negative 20 divided by 0.
Divide by 0, right?
So what's the slope? It's not negative 20 or 0.
Is it undefined?
It is undefined. Hey, guys, just so you know, when you say, I don't know, I forget, that doesn't say, oh, then we'll call on somebody else. We're going to make you think, right? That's undefined. Now, hey, here's a little light that should go off, guys. Anytime you have a same x or a same y value, it's either going to be a zero slope or undefined slope. See how I have 4 in my x's? Same, right? It's going to be a special slope. Okay? All right. Let's see. Jenna, help me with 4.
Negative 13 minus 7.
She's not messing around.
And then negative 9 minus 3.
Go ahead.
I got negative 20 over negative 12.
What's a negative over negative, Jenna?
Positive.
Okay, so it's going to be a positive slope. Okay, we want to reduce that. What's the biggest number that goes into? What'd you get for when you reduced it?
I got a decimal.
Shame on you. Do you have a pet?
Yeah.
Dog?
Yeah.
Shame on your dog. No, we don't want it's a slope, right? We want rise over run. We don't want a decimal. So put it in ABC. What's the biggest number that goes into 20 and 12, Jenna?
2.
There's a bigger one. We can do that real quick. Got 10, 6. Does 2 go in that again?
Yeah.
What's half a 10?
5.
What's half a 6?
3.
There we go. And don't put 1 and 2/3, guys. Leave it 5/3. All right. By the sound of it, how'd the front page go, Mr. D?
Not bad. The only thing, look at the very bottom one, bottom right. Y equals negative 3.
Yeah.
That's a special one. And this one, like, you're either going to know it right away or you're just going to stare at it. You got to know if there is no second the variable. Like, there's not an x and a y. It's either a horizontal or a vertical line. And so just go to where y equals negative 3.
Where's y equal 3, negative 3, guys? Right here? Right? Well, I don't want to draw it up the y-axis, so it has to be what? It has to be a horizontal line.
Now,
Give me an equation for a vertical line.
ooh, big one.
Anybody? Give me, yes, sir.
X equals 2.
Kind of put a British accent on your 2, but I'm going to go with it. I thought you said 2. He goes, X is a 2. Do you guys agree? Is that vertical? Yeah, go to the x-axis, 2. I'm not going to draw a line to mirror the x-axis, so it has to be what? Parallel with my y, or a vertical line. That's that one. All right.
Now on the back, here's what you need to do. Turn the answer key over to the back. Look at, first of all, just look at what I got. Take a minute and look what you got. So then we'll take 1 or 2 to go over. But see how everything's written. There's no decimals. Everything's written in y equals mx plus b form, which means you put the x piece first.
Yeah.
The constant second. So
Got-
you need to look at that.
Guys, this should be on the top of your paper. First of all, that should be on the top of your paper. We want the slope-intercept form written like that. Okay, so we know what the slope is and we know what the y-intercept is.
Hey, right now we're missing a bunch of phones here. All right, so if you got yours, you need to put it up there. Do that now. Yeah, put yours up there too, buddy.
You seem kind of cranky there.
A little crank. Just
Lucas, reach out for me. Tap him on the shoulder for me. Thank you. Guys, look. This skill on this backside of this page is something you're going to use for the rest of your math career. It is so, so important. All we're doing is solving for y so we can graph it. Guys, how do I get y? How do I get it by itself right there? What am I going to do? Yes, Mace. Guys, yes, add x. Now, are these like terms? Don't combine them. Okay? Y equals x minus 2. That's it. Don't make it hard. Because I think you're making it harder than it is. Okay, what number's in front of my x, guys? What's my slope? Anybody? Go ahead. It's 1. If you want to write 1/1, go ahead. What's my y-intercept? Yes, Lucas.
-2.
That's, guys, you never start, never, ever, ever start with your slope. You have to start graphing the point. The point I know is my y-intercept, which is 0, -2. Go to 0, -2, and go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. You can keep doing that. Or you can do this. What's a double negative move? A positive. Down 1, left, down 1, left. And you guys get the idea. Should look something like that. Okay? Now, Rylan, what's my first thing to isolate my y I need to do?
Subtract 4
Or what?
on each side.
For,
You gotta say that. I'm not very smart.
I would have just subtracted 4.
Yeah.
Don't give me that smile, Rylan. All right. Now, what do I write first, Rylan?
8y equals -4x minus 24.
Beautiful. What's attached to the y?
An 8
By what? Operation.
multiplication.
So what do I need to do?
Y.
Now, guys, we've worked on this. Everything gets divided by 8. Okay? Cancel. Whoa, that thing's... All right. Guys, what's -4/8 reduced? Negative what? Yeah, go ahead.
-1/2.
Whoops. Okay, what's -24 divided by 8, Rylan?
-3.
Okay, how do I graph this line? What do I start with? The slope, which is what? What's my slope?
-1/2.
And what's my y-intercept?
-3.
Okay, let's put it as a point. 0, -3, right? Can you, what do I have to start with? What's the point I know? 0, -3. Okay, the slope is not a point. You can't start with that. Does that make sense? Put your y-intercept. Now you graph your slope. How do you put the slope on there, Rylan? Oh, by the way, what's a negative line look like? Does it go down to the right or up to the right, Rylan? Guys, once we have a negative slope, draw that there so when we graph it, it should look like that. Okay, go ahead, Rylan. How do I attach a 1/2 slope?
If you go down 1 and over 2.
Okay, over 2 doesn't mean anything because I can go right or left. Down 1, if you go down 1, do you have to go right or left? If you go down 1, left 2, look what happens. I just created a positive slope.
Right?
Yeah, guys, does everybody understand? I think, whoops, why isn't that changing? You're not the only one. If you do a double negative move, if you go down 1, if you go left 2, you see how you create a double negative move, and that creates a what line? Positive line. Does that make sense? So if you go down 1, Rylan, you have to go what?
Over 2 to the right.
Yes. Down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. Now, watch this. So down 1, you have to go right 2. You can also go up 1 and left 2. Up 1, left 2. Up 1, left 2. And there she is. There she is. Hopefully, if you guys know it's a negative slope and you made a mistake, Rylan did, and I'm sure she's not the only one. That's why if we draw a line like that and you graph a positive line like this, let's say we did that. You just say, wait, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. All right.
I think that's good.
We good?
Because I'm gonna go over another one.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure you just check your answers for those other two, because I know most of you made similar mistakes as the first one. So fix it. We're gonna go over another one as well before we get to the notes. All right, here's what we got planned. We got to finish up this graphing. 3.5 and 3.6 are really important. We're gonna have a quiz on those on Wednesday. And then we're gonna have a test over 3-1 through 3-6 next week, which will probably be, if I remember right, either next Tuesday or next Wednesday. I gotta double check. You already had that quiz over 3-1 to 3-4. I'm gonna hand those back so you can put them in your notebooks and you can use them to look over for the test. Okay, do that in a second, as well as give you out the guided notes. But mainly here, you got to be able to graph this. This is on a guide. I just need you to pay attention to this and think about how we're going to do this. Be ready to answer questions. So we're going to hand out guided notes. I'm going to hand out your quizzes. You're going to look at this and just think, do I know how to do this problem?
Okay.
All right, here are the quizzes from last week. They can be kept. If I got here. But take a look at that problem. You gotta say, can I graph that? Do I know how to graph it? Get it right every time.
I swear.
Alex. One. Gavin.
Pretty quick, right?
Pretty quick.
Diana. Oh, hold on, Rob. Carly.
Somebody help you there, sir?
Here's yours. Reese. Here's yours. Hey, so hold on to those quizzes. They go in your notebooks. Using the review for the tests we're going to have next week. We will quiz over 3-5, 3-6. Slope graphing. All right, 4x plus 2y equals 10. All right, this is not on your guide notes. It's just something to pay attention to. All right, can I graph that line? Can you do it from, first step to last step? Can you get it 100% correct as we go through here? All right, what do you think? Now, Emma, you haven't been in here a while, so you might say, I'm a little shaky on it. So I agree with that. So any ideas what you would do first, Emily?
B minus 4x on.
I agree. What's your goal there? What are you trying to get to?
2y equals 4x, not plus 10.
Okay. One little thing you need to change there. Make sure that is, you're going to write that as 2y equals, now we always want this x first for lines. We always want this y equals mx plus b, what we call a slope-intercept form. So we want that. So I'm going to write, you cannot combine those. So we just went over that. Negative 4x plus 10. All right, Emily, am I done or do I have to do something else?
You divide 2y on all three.
Now, when you say divide, make sure just the number 2. Now, most people understand what that means, but I want to make sure just the number 2. The y stays where it's at. Because those cancel, I get y equals negative 4 divided by 2. That works out to a whole number. If it works out to a whole number, great. Negative 2x. Plus what? 10 divided by 2 is 5. All right. What's the slope? Damien, what's my slope? What's my y-intercept? And sometimes I'll write negative 2 over 1 just so I remember that there is a run. And my y-intercept, which is my b value, is 0.5. All right. Austin, remember how to graph this?
Yeah.
What do we got to do?
The y would be 5.
Okay. So there.
And then the x would be negative 2.
Like right here?
Yeah.
Okay. You're thinking x and y intercepts. We got the y-intercept. Agree with that. That is not necessarily our x-intercept. That tells me how to go to get the next
you
point.
go down
So I'm going to get this slope. So if I go down,
to
then which direction do I need to go?
the right.
I got to go down to the, if I go down, I got to go to the right. So I go down 2, and then how far to the right?
1.
1. And then I go down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the left 1. So I can go up and to the left or down and to the right. And so there's my line. Okay, so that's what we got there. So you got to be able to take an equation that doesn't have y by itself. Make y by itself. Graph it using slope and y-intercept. So we have graphed it 2 ways, which we'll kind of review a little bit tomorrow before the quiz. Before that. All right, now we're going to what you have there. And this is kind of the last little piece is we got to take a situation and represent it as a function, graph it, and then also say, all right, what do these points mean? A closet organizer. Do you know what that is? Person that comes in and organizes your closets. Okay, so that's a real job. Okay, people will do that. The person charges an initial consultation fee plus an additional amount per hour. Her final charge can be shown, there should be no is, can be shown by the function f of x equals 100 plus 30x. I want to do b first. Let's drop down to b and then we'll graph it. I want to do b first. Identify the slope and y-intercept and describe their meanings in this case. So f of x equals, it says 100 plus 30x. I much prefer to put 30x plus 100. You can do that, and that's fine. If they give it to us, we have to deal with it, but I want to put it as 30x plus 100. Now, f of x is for function. You can think of that as a y. That helps you. Doesn't matter. All right, what is my slope? What's my y-intercept? And what do they mean in the context of the problem? Zach, what's my slope?
Your slope is 30. Your slope is 30x.
Not 30x. I'm being real picky here.
Oh, just 30.
It's just 30. Because when you say slope, it should never have that x part. Okay, it is 30 or 30 over 1. If somebody put that, I'd never mark that wrong. That's fine. 30 or 30 over 1. I might. He might. I would. So I hope I grade it.
It was mine or something.
Okay. Oh, yeah, did she give you her 5 bands in it?
No,
What?
not a 1.
I'm not grading anything of hers till she gives us something.
Give me music you like that. All right, go. We're not. Jenna, give me a band you like.
I don't listen to music.
Oh, come
That's
on.
such a lie.
Everybody listens to music.
Everybody.
You must be ashamed of what you listen
I
to.
think,
Ooh.
Austin, thank you. Austin, what do you like to listen to?
Rock, metal.
There we go. Little Metallica. There we go. You ever heard of Metallica?
No.
No. All right. What's my y-intercept? Emily, what's my y-intercept?
100.
100. I'm gonna write it 0, 100. All right. In terms of this whole problem, what do they mean? In terms of this closet organizer. Okay. What does the 30 mean? What does the 100 mean? Lucas, do you know even it? Do you know?
What the 30 and 100 mean?
Yeah.
100's the initial cost and 30's like per the hour.
30's what?
Per hour.
Okay, good. I'm just going to change your wording just a little bit. I'm going to say I'm just going to say the consultation fee or initial fee. How you want to do that? So that is your 30, or excuse me, the 100. So this is our consultation fee. You pay that up front. Consultation fee. And the 30, okay, that is the amount per hour or charges per hour. So if you got somebody that says, oh, I can do this in 2 hours, and you got somebody who says, oh, I can do this in 15 hours, you're going to pay for 15 hours of work. Okay? So you want to, obviously, the fewer the better. So we got that. Now let's go back up and figure out this graph. So I got y equals 30x plus 100. I'm going to say the biggest thing on this is how you do your scale. Because if you don't do it very well, it's going to make it more difficult. And now we're dealing with some situations where we don't have as nice a numbers. Like 30 is the biggest slope we've ever had. It's usually like 2x or a half x. Okay, so we got to be able to handle this. Y-axis. Okay, this is going to be our cost. Okay, this is going to be our cost. This is going to be the number of hours on the x-axis. All right, there can be good y scales and there can be bad y scales. You don't want to go up every one on your y scale because you got to go at least 100. What do you think, Oz?
For the costs, go by 25 or 50.
25 or 50.
I think that
I'm going to change one thing, and I'm not going to say it's wrong. It's not wrong. Just to help with the slope, because I know I've done this a little bit longer than you have, just slightly. The slope is 30. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up by every 20. It'll just make it a little bit easier to do this, okay, as opposed to 25. So this is going to be 0, and then each line, I'm going to make 20. So that's 20. Now, whatever you make the first line, the next line has to be that much up. So it's going to be 40, 60, 80.
Did you teach in that one room schoolhouse over
Back in the 1800s.
there? Oh, early 19.
True. 180. Go up to 200. That should be enough. Have you ever been in there?
No.
I haven't either.
Well, it's a one room schoolhouse with an addition on the back.
Then they can't do one room.
I didn't put it there.
For my hours, I'm going to space this out. We don't need a ton, so instead of going I'm going to do every other line is 1. Every other line is 1. So you really got to watch here how we do our slope. Our slope is $30 over 1 hour. Our y-intercept is 0, 100. So I can start with 0, 100 as a point.
Yeah, guys, this is the thing. When they walk in the door, how much money do you owe them? How much money do you owe when they walk in the door? $100. Don't start it at 0. It starts at 100. That's my y-intercept. That's what it means.
Now my slope is 30. We always said go up 30 block, or like go up how many blocks and over. That's if everything's marked as 1. You got to go up $30 and over 1 hour. Okay, so $30. So you go from 100. You want to go up 30 and over 1. So that would be at 130. And now 1, I made it every 2 spaces. So I need to go right to there. Okay, so you go up $30 over 1. And then go up another $30 and over another 1. Well, another $30 will put me at 160 over to 1. I'm going to do 2 more. Go up 30 over 1 hour, up 30 over 1 hour. Now, we can't have negative cost. So really, this graph is just going to start at the 0, 100, and then go to the right. Okay, so that's our graph. So you're going to go up $30 over 1 hour, up $30 over 1 hour. Okay, so starting at $100. So the next one will be 1 hour, 130. Okay, so we got all this. Find the cost if the organizer works 12 hours. Okay. Now, I don't have that going all the way out to 12, which is fine. We don't need the graph. So how can I use the function f of x equals 30x plus 100? So they work 12 hours. That means x equals 12. Plug in 12 for x and see what you get. Man, this is not going to be a pretty bill. This is all for some clean closets.
I'll do it for $28.99 an hour.
An hour?
Yeah, they're charging 30.
What's your consultation fee?
71.
There you go. Maya, what'd you get? Letting everybody do your work?
That's only now.
Trying to think of bands.
Do you like, you ever hear of Bruce Springsteen, Maya?
No.
Oh my, come on! Bon Jovi.
No.
Justin Bieber.
Eminem.
No, I have, but like I don't.
Okay.
Eminem.
I did a project on Bruce Springsteen like 4th grade.
The Boss.
You did what?
I did a project.
Remember any of his songs? Can you give us any of his songs? No.
I've heard them before, I just don't know.
Born in the USA.
Oh, he wrote that. All right. Did you get your answer yet, Mike?
Him and Lady Gaga wrote it.
460.
460. All right. So $460 for 12 hours
I
of
bet you
work.
Riley's a Lady Gaga.
No.
What do you like? Huh?
Beatles.
The
Ooh,
Beatles.
Beatles.
There's
She's
a.
going way back.
Ma, you ever
machine.
hear them? The Beatles?
Yeah. I don't listen to
No, Brandon.
Okay. Number one, you gotta list your favorite bands. And the second thing you gotta do, page 177, 178. Now there's only 6 problems. I think 35, 36, 37, 38, 39,
7.
40, 41. 7 problems. Hey, the first one though, it says use finding X and Y intercepts. If you need a little help, we'll help you with that one. So our goal is to get done with 35 before you're out of here.
What was your mom on Thursday about the music?
Oh, yeah.
it.
What is she like?
I don't know. Well, my dad listens to it.
I don't
I
like
listen to all that.
This
So
is
just
well.
listen.
Then you've heard it.
I've heard it. Yeah, I still listen to it. I don't like it.
I was seeing a rock
What?
from
You
there.
have to, everybody listens to music.
That's a slow song. And that's just like, just all kinds
She's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Again, Aerosmith. Again, Aerosmith.
That's not true. Hey, try.
Black Sabbath.
That's Black Sabbath.
Austin, get to work, man.
Little Iron Maiden.
I do it all.
No, start it.
Start it. That's why we're here, so we can help you. Start it. Oh yeah, yeah. We're not packing up now.
Lindsay, what's your favorite group? What do you like to listen to?
I have no idea.
Mr. Parker, what's your favorite group?
I like 80s.
All of it.
80s. I like 80s.
Never heard of that band.
I like Bon Jovi.
There you go.
The Boss. How about Little Michael? Michael Jackson? Yeah, he's got some good songs.
No.
Not one good song.
She's never heard Billie Jean. Billie Jean.
You didn't like Thriller?
Uh-uh.